Good morning. If you're talking smack, you are on the right track. That's how we're starting the show today. That was yesterday's soundbite with our good friend John Anderson. Good morning, Keith Bilous here. See Marty Fit, John Anderson hanging tight here in the green room. Coming up in a second. Today on the show, are you a business athlete? Are you? Are you? Are you a business athlete? We're coming up on the show today. We're going to define what is a business athlete. I'm a business athlete. I know John Anderson is. I know Christopher Martin, C. Marty Fit is. We're going to get into that discussion about what is, because I know you are one. Maybe you work remote. Maybe you work hybrid. Maybe you work solopreneur. Because right here in the lab, right here on Mornings in the Lab, we build business athletes. Also, coming up on the show today, we are going to get into the continued discussion with our good friend. Well, he's not here. But we're going to bring up how you can live your best life. Oh, yeah, good expression there. How you can live your best life with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He released a book last week, or a pamphlet, 77 Ways You Can Live Your Best Life at the Age of 77. Why don't I bring up my good friends, C. Marty Fit and John Anderson, to the stage. If you're on the right track, John Anderson, boom, boom.
I was gonna say you got to say it right if you're gonna say it, brother. I think what you said, Marty, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you said if you're talking smack, you're on the right track. No. If they're talking smack, you're on the right track. Because here's the thing: the couch potatoes, all the shit talkers, they don't attack their own. They only attack those that are doing something that they're not.
It's true. It's
like the guy yesterday.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
I don't know.
Yeah,
exactly. That's my point.
So do I have to be kind at this point, or can I just call the guy a loser?
Brother, tell we take even the biggest turd throat.
Yes,
turd. We just catch it, put it down, and just send some we mentally send some positivity. I never ever meet a negative with a negative. Ever.
I love John Anderson, Marty. I love what he brings to the table. He will cancel out our ambivalent enthusiasm with nothing but
I like to say a couple of slick things back. I'm the opposite of John. I'm not going to be mean. I'm going to just say some slick stuff back. That's all.
Well, see, but here's the way it works. They throw a turd. You got to catch it. And if you want to say something slick, you got to hold on to that thing, cock, and throw it again. I just want to catch it, put it down, get it out of my life.
Nah, that's dodging it and let it fall in the toilet.
Oh, Jesus, Murphy. Oh, boys. We had a good show. Hey, if you're tuning in today's show, I invite you to check out yesterday's show. We dug into some Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff. We dug into resilience, what it takes to, get through those tough moments in life. We talked about we talked about what happens if as you age and if you don't take care of the master of your own domain. We had that conversation yesterday as well.
You got to master your domain.
You got to lay that out. Master of the domain. I was even confused. He's talking about how healthy masturbation is. That's what we were talking about yesterday. Yes, it is healthy. And for those of you that say you don't do it, you're lying.
He said
Everybody does it.
John said it.
we're banging on it. We're banging on it. We're banging on it. We're banging on it.
Well, I was confused yesterday for the beginning of the show. He's talking about master of the domain. I'm thinking, oh my God, there's a lot of mastery in your own domain. But then I started to realize, okay, we're just talking about taking care of ourselves here. And there's nothing wrong with that.
So children, we might dip into masturbation talk this morning. I'm not really sure. We are gonna talk about sitting too long. Marty, we had a conversation a few months back around, people that sit too long. And, I found something this morning, which, think about this, John, and I know you know this, and I do not want to beat up on my diabetes friends. That is not the point of this. I want to, because you guys know what I'm going to say next, but I like to create awareness on the show. For people with diabetes who sit too much and do not get enough exercise, there's a 73% increased risk of early all-cause mortality. So let me say that again, John, Marty, and I'm not laughing. If you have diabetes and you're sitting too long, your chances of dying early go up by 73%, John Anderson.
Well, I think somebody came in here yesterday, and I don't know if it's true, but I think he said statistically type 2 is the number one killer right now in America. Is it?
Yes. I don't. Is that what it is, Marty? Yeah, I don't know.
That's what he said. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but the question is, was he just, he may have. I can't remember if he was a turd thrower. Was he just stirring shit up?
No, he wasn't a turd thrower. But I'll find out real quickly.
Okay.
But
because if that's the case, that's massive, brother. That's massive.
But here's how we can reverse that, gentlemen. So again, if you're listening to this, and I bring this up because we know, nation, diabetes is an accumulated effort of bad decisions. And we are not here to make judgment. That is not all. We are here to create awareness to help you perhaps make different decisions throughout your day. So if you're sitting there and you're
not number one.
What's number one, buddy?
Heart disease.
Okay, well, there you go. So heart disease.
Sorry. Diabetes is number 7. Type 2 is number 7.
Still top 10, baby. We'll take
there you
it.
go. There you go.
Still a massive killer.
So think about this. For people who engage in moderate to vigorous physical activity, Marty, John, for at least 150 minutes each week. Notice I said each week.
Yeah, what is that per day? That's not much.
This increase in mortality is eliminated.
Wow. That's it's not like a percentage. It says done, out of here. Sweat a little bit and extend your life. That's pretty sharp.
That's basically what it says, John. Like really, if like what it's saying, and I want to be tactful with my words here. If some choices in life have caught up to you, and you're like, oh my God, I'm battling this really horrible disease right now. Well, if you get up and start moving, there's a good chance that you're going to perhaps make up for some of those bad accumulative decisions.
Yeah. And if all you need is a little piece of vigorous exercise, that's not much. That's not much at all. I mean, and you think about it, because you're going to pay people in general, forget type 2, forget diabetes. You're going to pay a consequence. You're going to make a sacrifice, one or the next. Either going to sacrifice eating right, or you're going to sacrifice having to give yourself insulin shots once you're diabetic. So which sacrifice do you want to make?
Well, isn't that true? Right. That's very true. So, with what we find here is, what's up? What's up, pretty Tony? You're here by yourself. Awesome. Welcome to the lab here, Tony. We appreciate having you here, joining our conversation. We were talking about folks with diabetes. If you're sitting too long, there's a high chance you're going to pass. But if you get moving, that chance of passing reduces itself very, very quickly and highly. So, continue our discussion here this morning to Keith and John and see Marty Fit. Johnny, how was your day yesterday, man? You got after chest yesterday, I think it was?
What did I do yesterday?
What was the race day for you?
I'm having a bit of a brain fart. What did I do yesterday? Goodness, it was a great workout. I remember that because I'm already focused on what I'm doing today. I'm deadlifting today. That's what nobody gives a shit about yesterday. What are you going to do today? What are you willing to do today to move the needle forward? That's the question. I love that. Well, what's Enzo up to? Good morning, Enzo. Good morning. What's up, Enzo? Good to have you here this morning in love. I'm going to get after legs here today. It's Tuesday. It's legs day for me, so I'm going to get after it. I'm looking forward to that here today. I got off our show, went for a 5K run yesterday, like I tend to do on Mondays and Fridays, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And I went for a walk this morning, then got a lift coming up after the show here as well. So
you were up early, man.
I was up early.
I saw you posting.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. It's funny because I'm still been working on my morning kind of, John, we were talking last week how you've been shifting your times, whether it's, 3 o'clock or 2:55. I've been moving between that 4 o'clock and 4:55. I got up 15 minutes earlier today, boys. Man, the power of that extra 15 minutes, eh?
Oh yeah.
It's the whole thing. When you start off your day doing something that's difficult, getting up a little bit early, it just sets the tone. I mean, goodness, I got the West Coast time frame here, so I got to get up. I'm up at 3 o'clock to make sure I'm on task on point for this bad boy.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, just deciding to move it just 5 more minutes early and having the discipline not to hit the snooze, that's power, baby.
It totally is. It's that 15 minutes summarizes. I'm sorry, really, it's an accumulative thing, right? Because now, like, I feel like I got 15 minutes ahead of the day right now. So incredible. Hey, boys, question for you. So I know Marty and I have joked about this in the past, Johnny, but venting. Are you a venter? Do you vent negatively? I know you're a positive dude.
This is good. Oh, love this one.
Talk to you about venting, John Anderson, before I come over to you, see Marty Fit.
Love this one. All right, because we all get kicked in the nuts. Life gives us a swift kick, And here's the thing. You got 90 seconds. Bitch, cry, moan, do what you want to do, complain, then shut up and start turning all that energy into, rather than bitching about the problem, start obsessing about the solution, and life will be a different place. Bam. End of story.
It's hard to argue that. Marty, I know we've vented to each other before. Talk to me about your attitude around venting.
Yeah, kind of like John. Maybe a little more than 90 seconds. I have people, like my safe space, people I can trust and talk to. Just because sometimes that people need to know a little bit of what's going on in my life. And then I got my podcast. So if a client pisses me off or if something pisses me off with my career, I'm going off.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, dude? I haven't got an invitation to your podcast yet. Shit, I'm a podcast machine. All I do is just drop bombs.
You know what? We got to get Johnny on Marty's podcast. Marty.
That'll be actually pretty funny, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what your podcast is, but what it's about. But I know we could get on there and entertain some people and inform some people at the same time. But I still haven't got an invitation, man. I must not be big league enough. He's big league.
All right, look, this is what we got. It's all fitness. Okay, we start the show off with.
I fit into that category.
We start the show off with some science. We educate. And then we go through all the BS, the BBLs, the bad gym culture.
What's a BBL?
Brazilian butt lift. That's what the girls are doing now. Instead of going to the gym, we talk about weight loss surgery. Weight loss drugs. We talk about everything, man. So it gets crazy.
Well, shit.
You see my post.
We need to get into that. That is going to be must-see evening podcast. And I saw we got some likes coming up. So Marty, we got to make this happen, brother. I
don't think John knows what he's getting himself into.
No, brother. Let me tell you. I've been on so many podcasts. It's crazy, you know. And if people will tell me, is there a thing you don't want to talk about? I say, listen, you say whatever you want. You know, you can put whatever you want from me. I'll devour that thing.
Let's do it. Well, I'll be in touch.
And if it's like, hey, if there's something you don't want to answer, I say, look, you ask me whatever you want. If I need to dance, I'll dance.
Oh man, John Anderson, the soundbite machine here on Mornings in the Lab. We are going to get him to join the See Marty Fit podcast. It runs on YouTube a couple nights a week live. You got to tune into it, man. Great content, great shows. You're going to see another side of Marty that we've asked Marty to just tame down on the mornings here. Although every single week, I think more of it comes out, which we love. But I do have a segment. Actually, I've been meeting Melissa. Ears perk up. Jimmy, ears perk up. Good. The team's listening. We want to get a segment into the show where we're going to pull out some fun fitness content from Instagram and we're going to put it in front of John and Marty and we're going to ask them to break it down. And then we're going to weave that into our conversations around over-sexualization in the gym. So I want to get that segment started.
Let's talk about it.
Because Marty drops great content where he looks at humans doing ridiculous, and I'm going to say ridiculous.
I got some stuff for you today. In
the gym or in restaurants or in supermarkets. And, I want to see John and Marty break that down because I think that'll be some fun stuff. Speaking of actually, Johnny, we were thinking about you yesterday. We were on our way to Folklorama last night, and there was this dude at the bus stop, Johnny, just banging out tricep pushes on the bench. Like
he bench dips, baby.
Just stretched out, going hardcore, man. Bench dips at the bus.
Own it, baby. You know how many times I've been stuck somewhere. I said, you know what? I'm gonna pass my time with 1,000 squats. I'm gonna do 10 sets of 100, and I'll just start bopping those things out. Somebody walking by looking at me. You know, it's like. When people look at you like this, it's the same thing. If you're in a public bathroom, somehow you forget to lock the door. You're sitting down like this. You're taking a dump, and you hear the door open. Most people, you're gonna do like this. This is what you do. You just basically look up at them. They're the ones that freak out, and then they scurry on out of there. That's what you do when you're doing squats in a weird place in a public place. When they look at you all crazy, you just kind of look at them like, okay.
Marty's face. Oh my God. Oh, we're talking.
Marty's trying not to unleash one of his rants on me right now. Is what he's trying to do.
We're talking about.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
He's all coiled up, man. He's like
is he coiled?
Hold it back.
Is he coiled or is he clenched, Johnny? Is he coiled or clenched? So it's either coiled.
That's a good question. Coil or clinch. That's a good one right there.
I'm just listening.
See,
John. I'm just
if I had
listening.
a button, every time I had one of these good ones, I could give myself a little love, but I don't have a button.
Oh man.
Oh my God. Hey, listen, Nation. I invite you to tune in first thing in the morning here, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Central, middle of the night in Hawaii and the Pacific Coast, mornings in the lab. Myself, Keith Bilous, my good friend John Anderson, topping some water into his body right now. And of course, the undeniable, the incomparable Christopher Martin, see Marty Fit. Listen, here's how our show works. For the first 12, 15 minutes or so, sometimes even 30, we get into some back and forth fun conversations kind of going on. So we invite you guys to join those chats. Bottom of the hour here, we're going to dip into Arnold's 77 topics. We started the conversation yesterday. And then the back half of the show, we're going to get into, are you a business athlete? Because what we do here in the lab, what we do here at Mornings in the Lab and in the Business Athlete Performance Lab is we build business athletes. So we're going to get into that discussion coming up today. But right now we're talking about venting. And John's like, no, I don't vent. I just jump right to the positive. And Marty.
No, remember, 90 seconds. That's the max.
Yes.
But in most cases, I don't even want to do that. I just want to deflect. Boom. Let it go on by. Okay, there was the problem. Let's focus on the solution.
I think venting is a maturity thing. As I've aged, I've learned to vent more. No, I'm kidding. Venting when angry, actually, so there's some scientific research, guys. Venting when angry does not actually reduce anger.
No, it makes anger worse. I mean, let's be honest. When you react to something, your brain is dumping like survival chemicals into your bloodstream. It's fight or flight. It's like, whoa, you can choose to basically allow something to upset you or not.
Right.
If it's by a person does something like, whoa, what was that? All that means is that dude is a little bit further away. So the next time he does that dumb shit, it ain't going to get near me.
That's right. Marty, the research is suggesting calming activities like yoga, meditation, masturbation, deep breathing are more effective at reducing anger
This is going to come up every day now.
And venting at physical exertion. I wanted to see if you were listening there, Martin. But
we're going to talk about this every day.
Hold on. Can we all agree that that's something that everybody does, or is someone in the group here doesn't want to talk about it because that's does that make sense? Or we all agree that this is a natural part of life?
Dude, it's part of life. It's like bleeding. It's like air. It's like going to the gym.
And if you're not doing it, you're missing out on a nice natural part of life.
I'm telling you, Johnny, somebody asked Arnold, when you're 88, what are you going to be doing? He's going to the gym. Yes. Somebody said, Keith, if you're 88, what are you doing? Well, I'm the master of my domain.
There we go. Right on.
It doesn't end. So listen, nation, the key findings with venting are as follows. If you're driving through traffic right now, listening to our show, and somebody just knocked you off or pissed you off, don't get angry.
No.
Meditate.
Do not.
Think about
road rage is not safe.
Think about the sultry sounds of Christopher Martin's voice.
Well, here's another thing to think like this. Is the person that did whatever upset you, is that person really worth you getting out of a good mood, you getting into a lower vibration? No.
Oh, that's what it comes down to too. Yeah, and again, I know our audience we're talking to, men. We're talking to you right now. I've been there. John's been in your shoes. I'm sure Marty's been in your shoes. Trust me, it's not that person right now pissing you off is not worth your anger. Like,
yes,
especially first thing in the morning, not worth it. Not worth it at all.
It's not even safe to have road rage. Have you seen the videos of dudes walking up on guys?
Yeah,
on the middle of the highway and these street lights. Are you kidding me? I don't want to say it on air, but
dude, I live in Canada.
You're playing with your life.
Well, that too. Yeah.
I can honestly say, and I'm very happy to say this, I've never commuted to work because I've never had a scenario I've had to get on the freeway with everybody else. I mean, I've had a few times I had to go off and drive somewhere during all that mess, and it's crazy. I'll tell you right now, there is no possibility that some dude that's all bent out of shape because he's going to a job he doesn't want to go to is going to lay some of that nasty stuff on me, and I'm going to accept it. No way.
Yeah,
agreed.
Very, very true. Very true. Jimmy, we're going to knock the accountability check into the bottom of the hour here. We're going to continue our little chitter chatter. Get at her. Enzo, what's shaking, man? I want to make sure you're awake. Last night, I know you fell asleep after number 5, 6. So Enzo, dude, get to bed earlier so you can stay up later with Uncle Keith and Uncle Johnny and old Father Marty over there. So 20 minutes in, Marty's had enough. Enzo's like, oh yeah, Marty's checked right out of the show already. And Desmond comes in with negative energy will only take time away from positive. Oh, that's well said,
Yes,
Desmond. That's
absolutely, Desmond.
That's a wise comment, man. That's a really wise comment because, and I bring it up, guys, because, man, that negative energy can just set your day off in the wrong direction, eh? Like, we have all been there, and that's why I really wanted to kind of spend some time on it this morning for a couple moments, because as you're starting your day, we want to help you start with positivity. And man, somebody pisses you off, just keep going. Just as John said yesterday in his soundbite, I'm coming through. Get out of my way.
That's it.
So
check this out. I got a little. This is how I envision this. This is my visual. So you've got. Look at the left. This. You actually got two buttons. I'm not talking about the button I want on the show, but you got two buttons in your brain. You are going to allow your basically whichever button you push is you're going to get good or bad chemicals. So what do you want? You want chemicals that piss you off, or you want chemicals that make you happy? It's your choice. Which button are you going to allow people to push?
Oh, I like that. That's really good, actually. Yes. What button are you going to allow to be pushed? That's a great. So ask yourself. Somebody's pissing you off. Ask yourself, what button do you want to be pressed? And let me segue to this then. So we all work with different kinds of communicators, John. And some communicators piss us off. Some communicators frustrate us. The do's and don'ts of working with 5 different types of communicators. So, Nation, you're starting your day today. You're off to work. You're getting ready for meetings. You're on your way to the gym. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, man, I got to find some time to communicate with some folks today. Aggressive communicators often disregard and disrespect the feelings and opinions of others. So if you find yourself interacting, Marty, with an aggressive communicator, do remain calm. Do be assertive. Don't be vague. And don't get sucked into aggressive responses. Yes. Talk to me about you guys having chats with aggressive communicators. And when you find yourself in that situation, Marty, do you find yourself changing how you communicate back to that human being?
Oh my God, yes, 100%. You're basically the last thing you want to do is react.
Yes.
It's like in a street fight scenario. Somebody throws a punch, the other guy throws it back as a reaction. Not a good example, but the bottom line is you choose to not react, right? You choose to not react, and that keeps you in that good state of mind. When you react, now you've fallen into whatever type of low vibration that they're putting on you.
That's right. Oh, hey, I got a great comment I got to throw on the screen for you guys here, which is this one here. Marty, ready for this one? Good time. I just pissed myself off. Must have come across you guys for some reason. Yes. Good time. Come on. I think you can do better than that. You got up this morning, you got out of bed, you found our channel, and you decided to take your fingers and write, 20, 30, 40 characters. And that's the best you can come up with? Come on, good time. I know you can do better than that. And of course, Inan jumps in with, Coach Marty, Sir John, today I have good news. He's achieved the milestone 500 subscribers on his channel, which focus on the fitness news. Yes.
Good for you, brother.
Yes. That is awesome. Oh, man, I know we love celebrating people here. So, Nam, congratulations on hitting your 500 subscribers. If you can throw 350 our ways, we would be right up next to you there as well. So we appreciate that. Great news for you, pal. That's exciting news. Let's go back to our friend Enzo here on the horizontal stream. Yes, you've tried that before, but when I go to sleep, so then oh yeah, Enzo, dude, you got to figure. Maybe you got to move yourself to North American time. Maybe that's what you need to do here.
I think he should.
Yeah.
He's about as far off as he can be, man. There's almost no worse time zone than where he is.
That's it. Hey, passive communicators. If you're coming across a passive communicator today, do slow down. Do lower your voice, frame the conversation fully. But Johnny, Marty, don't put them on the spot in a group environment or be too direct. You're gonna, and don't rush them. Don't interject. Find themselves, slow down the whole situation if you find yourself in a passive communication situation. How do you deal with passive communicators, Marty?
I was going to add something to that. I was going to say body language is key too.
Yes.
Because I know myself. I talk with my hands a lot, and so sometimes when I get hyped, the hands get moving around, And so a lot of times, I gotta, like I said yesterday, I gotta meet people where they are, and so I'm very careful with my words, careful with my tone, careful with the speed that I talk sometimes.
Yes,
and so that helps me a lot.
Well, it's a great topic because I'm using myself as an example. Obviously, I need to get along with my wife, but I make mistakes and I do shit to piss her off, right? And when she comes back at me a little aggressive because I did something that, I don't do it on purpose, but I make mistakes. She comes back at me fairly aggressive because she's kind of, she's a little hot. I'm going to lower my tone. I'm going to slow my roll. I'm going to basically just kind of I'm going to try to slow the conversation down with lack of this and easy tones. And so it gives you the ability, I hate to use the word control and manipulate, but to a certain extent, it gives you the ability to have much more control or manipulate the conversations you're in. But the key is to use it to benefit the situation. Don't do it from a place of malice.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And you know what? I owe an apology. I owe an apology to our friend, Good Time. Good Time joined the show to have a positive influence on their day. So Good Time, I'm sorry that I misunderstood your comment. Thank you for joining the show. I hope that you are feeling the positive energy from myself, C. Marty Fit, and of course the positive energy coming from John Anderson this morning.
Appreciate that, Good Time.
100%. So if you got up on the wrong side of the bed, I invite you to join our show every single day because we're trying to give you some positive vibes to help you get your day going. That's I'm sorry that you started your day off on the wrong foot. That's never a positive thing. Gents, passive aggressive communicators. And Marty, I'm going to look at you for this one. I'm going to suspect you have had clients that don't tell you what they want directly. They don't speak directly. They don't tell you what's wrong, but they just let you know their actions and their attitude, and you're trying to figure it out. What's the best way to deal with a passive aggressive communicator?
Wow, that's a good question. For myself, I'd say I take the initiative to make things clear, right? And you might have to force the answer out of them. Like, what do you want? When do you want this by? And they might tell me a goal that's not achievable in 30 days. And, you just got to be honest and be transparent with them. And just basically you take initiative.
Well, and that's exactly it, Marty. And John alluded to it. Focus on what you can control. Create an environment where you can genuinely welcome open and honest feedback, slow the situation down, as John alluded to, address the behavior rather than making it about the person. Marty, you did this. Johnny, you did this. Perhaps it's something like, hey, Marty, your behavior lately has been, it's been frustrating me, and I'm happy to sit down and talk to you about what has been frustrating you. But dude, if you don't tell me what it is, I don't know how we can continue working together. Right. And it's having that, that positive conversation with you. And it's about addressing the behavior instead of making it about you. And that's something that I think we often lose sight of when we're having a conversation with a passive aggressive human. Johnny, over to you with that comment.
Yeah, I would say to add to that, what you said is perfect. I would end it with, is there something I can do to help you or the situation?
Yes.
At that point, you're really disarming. That passive aggressive is kind of like a quiet, they're really not admitting that they're locking horns.
Yes.
Well, as soon as you basically choose to not lock horns and ask to step to their side and help, it's over.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. Assertive communicators, they know when to speak up and they know when to stand down. If you are an assertive communicator, or if you are dealing with one today, gentlemen, be assertive back. If somebody's confidently speaking to you, my recommendation is don't step back and become passive. Be assertive back. Be clear. Be calm. Be reasoned. Be informed. Know the key messages you want to deliver, and be respectful of the other person's opinion. If there's one thing that I really want to continue it onto our show, and as we continue to build this thing forward, is I want to welcome opinions. I want to welcome what you have to say, John. I want to welcome what you have to say, Marty. I want to welcome what our audience has to say. We all don't have to agree. Right? We can have a conversation, right? Give clear, honest, constructive feedback, and assertive people will take it on board and use it to help themselves improve. If there's anything, Marty, don't beat around the bush with an assertive person, and don't avoid challenging conversations, because Johnny, they want to have one with you.
And and sometimes you get someone that's so assertive and so aggressive, you got to like bring a little bit of like comic relief to the situation.
Yes.
So I'm going to just say, hey, hurry up and agree with me so I can give you what you want.
Yes.
And then they're gonna hear that little prayer. It just kind of breaks down this real aggressive thing. It takes a second. They're like, wait, it's kind of funny. It's a little bit of a goofy joke, but when people think it through, usually it'll settle them down with a little bit of a smile or a smirk, and then you've kind of changed their mental position a little bit. Possibly even prompted their brain to give them a feel good drug rather than a survival drug, which then makes that person a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. Marty, your thoughts on that?
I wanted to add something about the different opinions.
Mm-hmm.
It's big here in America. I don't know how it is in Canada, but it's like somebody has a different opinion, you automatically call them an idiot. You don't want to hear what they have to say. You can't have a conversation about it. You just people cut each other off. It's ridiculous, and I think that's very toxic. I don't think that's good for society, and I think we should be more accepting of people's opinions, and it shouldn't like mess up a friendship or mess up a business relationship, because people will be like, oh, I don't associate with anybody who believes XYZ, and I don't think that's right. I'm not going to judge you off of an opinion, which you probably have a valid reason for having that opinion, right? We come from different backgrounds, so we're going to look at things differently. So it is what it is.
Well, that judgment there, I totally agree, brother. First off, and the judgment. It's just gone completely rampant. And I think social media has kind of prompted that, because it's real easy for people, like look at some of the stuff that comes in here. Social media, people sit back and throw turds, and it becomes real easy to do that. And it becomes such a normal thing in the virtual world. It's now carrying into the physical world.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So in saying that, and Jimmy, we're gonna flip on over to the accountability check-in in less than a minute, because I can see Johnny moving in his seat there. So Johnny's doing the clench. He's got to walk on over down the hallway here in a moment. Accountability check-in. But we're talking about communication here in the lab here before we get into the rest of the show. The five, the do's and don'ts of working with 5 different types of communicators: aggressive, passive aggressive, assertive, and of course, assertive. So think about how you're going to go about your day communicating with folks. And as Marty said, welcome other people's opinions. Listen, I hope, guys, as we go through a generational shift here, as we head through a different election in the United States, a different election cycle, as society moves away from, as the society continues to shift from baby boomers to more Gen Z, more millennials, I'm really hopeful, Marty, that we can begin having conversations again. Johnny, that we can invite different generations to the table. And I'm hoping that we can be the conduit of that, actually, where we can invite people in. And maybe one of those topics, just going to think out loud here, is the over-sexualization of the gym. And I keep coming back to that one because that has been a hot topic within our content feeds, people talking about that. And I want to have a conversation about that. I know it's not the 1940s anymore where Keith and John grew up. I get that. I get that it's now the 2025s and the 2030s coming up. But man, we're still humans. And just to have the ability to have a conversation with another respectful human being, curious, man. We've lost curiosity, haven't we?
One more thing about the opinions.
Yeah.
When you really have a conversation with someone and dig into it, and you ask them why they had that opinion, they don't even know why they have that. They heard someone say it. You only had that opinion because you heard it on, you heard somebody say it on social media, or you heard it on a news channel or something. You don't even know why you have that opinion, and can't even explain why you have that opinion. So it's all jacked up.
It's learned behavior. And since COVID, now we've got learned helplessness.
Yes.
Everybody's sitting around, oh my God, you can learn to solve the problems in your life, or you can learn to hide behind the problems in your life.
You really quickly understand how clearly somebody can communicate or communicate effectively when you sit down, Marty, Johnny, and ask about their opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you start asking some more pointed questions or questions of curiosity, and the opinion keep being recycled back to what they read in X or Threads or LinkedIn yesterday, you're like, oh yeah, I see where this is going to go.
I deal with it often. You see my skin color, so I'm supposed to believe certain things and agree with certain things. And one thing I don't agree on, I'm getting called all types of names, so I deal with it often.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's crap is what that is. But we're going to keep bringing conversations and opinions to the table, but we're also going to do this. That's the sound effect.
See you, Johnny.
That means I get to go take a piss. That's what that is.
That's exactly it. That's where John gets to leave the stage. Oh, that's the part of the show where we get into the accountability check-in. It's this point, nation. This point where we say to you, why do you get up in the morning? Why? Why the hell do you get your ass out of bed in the morning? Do you know why? Because if you don't know, you're lost. You're hooped. Listen, why do you get out of bed in the morning? Knowing what you're aiming for, and it ain't the toilet, John Anderson. No, right in the middle of the toilet there. It's not what you're aiming for. Knowing what you're aiming for is going to make all the difference for the reason why you get out of bed in the morning. Knowing what you're aiming for gives you direction and a reason to push forward. Every day when you get up, it's a new choice. It's a new choice to learn, a new choice to grow. It's a new day to build something meaningful. Because listen, let's be frank here. Life's just damn too short to settle for mediocrity. Yeah, let me say that again. Life, it's just way too short to settle for mediocrity. Why would you? You got today to tackle. You got tomorrow to tackle. You got next week to tackle. Are you going to sit in the job you're at right now hating it, rushing towards retirement? Make a different choice. Purpose. Purpose pushes us beyond just by getting by. It drives us to choose excellence and find that real fulfillment. So, nation, what gets you out of bed today? I invite you to find your purpose. Find it. Get up. Get your day started. 37 minutes into the top of the hour here. Move it. Get action. And you know what, good time? I invite you back every single day. When you have a bad day, come here for a pickup. When you have a good day, come here to even pick yourself up further. That's what we do here in the lab. That's your accountability check-in. Bringing my friends back up on stage here. Johnny, we were talking about aiming into the center here, and I'm hoping that you aimed into the center.
You know, I'll tell you, I'll be totally honest. I walked in there and the lights were off. I went by sound.
Yeah? So in the middle of the night, I go by feel. Oh, I'm missing the toilet. My foot's getting wet right now. So
well, I'm listening.
John Sowers.
I'm listening for the sound of the water. If I hear water, I'm good. If I don't hear water, I got to adjust quickly.
Jesus. Oh, good show this morning here. Good time, dude. I'm really happy that you're hanging out with us this morning, and we're trying to bring some humor, we're trying to bring some information and some fun to the table, of course. And sup, real deal. Sup, real deal. Good to have you here this morning. We get some sound effects for you here. All right, gents, let's get into the continued conversation from yesterday. Let's just see here on the horizontal feed here. Enzo, Enzo, I'm going to tell you right now, pal. Enzo, if you're sleeping, ears perking up. All right, ears perked up. Good. So, Enzo, as you get yourself through college, let's get you on an airplane. You come over here, hang out with myself, Marty, and Johnny, get you on the show. I do have a room here if you need room and board. I haven't talked to Lauren about that, but, if you need somewhere to sleep, you can come and grab somewhere to sleep along the way. But gents, let's get into our topic. Let's get into the legendary Arnold Schwarzenegger. But no, actually, hold on. Before we do that, I'm going to go back it up here. I'm working hard to do a better job of the polls. And then, of course, Melissa's laughing. I want to get to the creator spotlight, too. So I got a number of things to get into here today. Okay, so our polls. Yesterday, when we were talking resilience, guys, we put a poll up. What's your go-to resilience booster when life gets tough? And the questions we threw on the table, John and Marty, was a pep talk in the mirror, binge watching a series, a tub of ice cream, or a quick workout. What do you think was number one? Workout, ice cream, TV, or the mirror? Gentlemen.
I hope to God it was a workout.
Marty?
I'm going to be honest, man. I wouldn't be surprised if people chose ice cream.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I would not be surprised, man.
I didn't even want to guess because I'm like, it's like, please tell me this is what this
I want some ice cream. It makes me feel better.
There's a soundbite for us. Well, Nation, I can tell you, Marty and Johnny, we're doing a good job with our messaging. We are doing a good job with our messaging. Number one, a quick workout, Anderson.
Okay.
That was it. Very nice. Very nice. That's what I want to hear. That's good stuff.
And then number two, a pep talk in the mirror. So our audience is like, oh no, we're not going to sit and watch TV and eat ice cream. So Nation, congratulations on getting yesterday's poll correct, even though it's not a right or wrong answer. But the fact
what was ice cream?
0.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Very
that's
nice.
Well, you're asking on LinkedIn. Now, if you would have asked on Instagram or X, you might have got a different response.
well. This is so I do have them across the other platforms, and our other platforms aren't.
Give humanity some credit here, Marty.
Okay,
Let humanity have some.
Watch this, Keith. I'm going to ask on my page.
Yes,
watch the response. I'm telling you right now, watch the response. Ice cream is going to be number 1, 2, or 3. It's not going to be last. I promise.
Jesus. Oh, and then sup Real Deal. Oh, Real Deal comes back. Oh, Real Deal, dude. He's giving us TV. Oh, man.
Come on now. There we go.
All right, Real Deal. You're not invited back for tomorrow's show. See you later, pal. Go watch some TV. Go put some Netflix on. Go have some ice cream and go do some squats. If you do some squats with the ice cream and the TV, then we might let you back in the show here. So that's how it's going to work.
Oh, I thought he was saying we were like TV.
Oh, I guess you're right. There's a little laughing. There's a laughing. Well, here's the thing. Listen. My saying, if they're talking smack, you're on the right track. Come on, fellas, bring it down. What else you got in there? Someone was talking about my wife a minute ago. Let me tell you. Yeah. Let me tell you. I give it a crack. That's a Mustang you can't ride, little fella.
Yes, there you go. So I saw
it's like going to the zoo and getting in a damn cage with the tigers. You don't want none of that.
I love it. You know what? I just said, Marty, I was fortunate to meet Terry. And I'm thinking that John's like, oh yeah, you don't want to go hang out with Terry because she's gonna kick your ass. That's what he's thinking, right?
That's the type of wife you want.
Yeah. Say, listen, same thing with Lauren. I'm like, all right, just go deal with her. I'll just go stand behind Lauren and let Marty let her shoulders stand in front of me. I'm like, all right, you can go deal with her shoulders.
You see what Real Deal said? Said I ain't going anywhere.
There you go. Awesome.
Yeah,
Real Deal. I love it. And good time. Hey, listen, I got to invite you guys. If you're tuning into our channel, either on a few other channels, I invite you to come over to Mornings in the Lab. Subscribe to our channel, Mornings in the Lab. Find us over on X, LinkedIn, Threads, but subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Subscribe to Mornings in the Lab so you can get content delivered to your inbox. Into your phone directly. We go live here every single day, of course, 8 o'clock Eastern time. But guys, I want to do dig into. No, here's what we're going to do, Jimmy. We are going to start off our conversation with part 2, Life Lessons with Arnold, continued, and then I'm going to dig into the Creative Spotlight. But we're going to start talking about life lessons from Arnold Schwarzenegger. So Arnold dropped a document last week, a booklet, 77 lessons at 77, and we dug into the first 20 yesterday. And we're going to go through a number more here this morning. Number 21, guys. Many people overestimate the risk of failure and let their fear hold them back. In most cases, if you really assess the risk, you'll see that your fear is overblown and illogical. If you fail to get the promotion you want, you're not going to be homeless. You'll just be where you are at right now. If the furthest you can fall is your current status quo, what are you afraid of? And let me say that again. Let me hang it out there, nation. If the furthest you can fall is your current status quo, what are you afraid of? Yeah. That's powerful, man. That's really powerful. Somebody tuning in right now who's like, I hate my life right now, well, then make a change.
Yeah, in this whole thing with fear, right? We, as human beings, we stress out and worry about shit that most of it never even happens. if you take a piece of paper, write down the top things you stress out about, and then give it a week. And how many of those things actually came true? Very few of the things we stress out about actually come to reality. They only live in your mind. So fear is just creating a whole bunch of mess in your mind. Yes.
Marty.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, I'm learning from John. That's big. But I fear does hold a lot of people back, and obviously I'm the fitness guy. I can say maybe, what if someone's life, just to counter what you said, what if someone's life is going downhill? So what if it's fitness related, right? And you just went to the doctor gave you some bad news, and you're on the decline. So I feel like maybe you can end up in the same spot, but in some cases it could be getting worse. Maybe just to play devil's advocate on that.
I think it's a fair comment, Marty, because I think that in our roles on this show, I know one of the biggest roles we play is to be empathetic to our audience, right? So if somebody comes to John, Marty, or myself and says, "Hey, I just got some bad diagnosis from my doctor. I'm failing right now at life." We're going to take that in. We're going to be empathetic. And then I know my goal, I'm thinking your guys' goals as well, is to wrap our arms around that human, give them all the love and empathy possible, and then help them start proceeding past that feeling of failure to make those next days and weeks and months even better than they're feeling right now. Gents?
Man, I'll tell you, life, it doesn't make us what we're talking about in life. All-time highs are followed by all-time lows. All-time lows are followed by highs. It's just the way it works.
Yes.
So if you're in a little bit of a lull, just remember the highs right around the corner. You just got to keep pushing through. Don't get taken off track by a piece of bad news. Almost everything in our world is temporary. So outlast the temporary. That's all you got to do.
Yes. Marty?
No, I agree. Outlast the temporary. It's only going to get better. So
yes.
What I say yesterday, you're either in a storm or a storm is on the way. So I absolutely agree with that.
I had somebody say yesterday, we were talking about, embracing failure and embracing discomfort. And somebody said, I can't embrace discomfort because I haven't had a job in 8 months. And I said, well, maybe the discomfort is actually encouragement in disguise. Maybe the discomfort is encouragement in disguise, because in my opinion, you got one of two choices. You can accept the discomfort and die, or you can embrace the encouragement of the situation and keep going. Holy, one foot in front of the other. Listen, and I'm going to call this out, and I'm going to say this with no disrespect to anybody right now who battles asthma.
Oh.
But we just had a gold champion world medalist crowned 2 days ago in the United States who battled asthma. So I have all the respect for all of you that are waking up right now that are struggling with those situations. I want to offer to you, though, that there's hope. That somebody out there said, hell with my asthma. I'm going to go become a gold medalist world champion, and I'm going to beat this damn thing. Yes. So no excuses. Johnny, Marty.
When it comes down to it, many people in the world today, they believe that things are difficult because the people around them have convinced them it's difficult.
Yes. Yep. You got a diagnosis. Oh, Johnny, you got this. Now, the moment you get the diagnosis, you're like, okay, I guess I got this. I'm now different.
The answer should be, no matter what, good. Because if you took a step forward, good. If you took a step back, good. Now I get to look at this from a slightly different position. Everything is good. And when you program your mind to react positively to everything, life will change. Here's a doozy. You control your thoughts. You control the quality of your life.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. I like that.
Where's my button, damn it? Where's my button?
we got some comments in here from the chat here. We got good time with good point, John, of course. And Mr. Bongster says, y'all watch too much Pornhub. Actually, no, you haven't seen my wife. I love my wife. I don't need Pornhub.
Nope, where does that come from, man?
I got the hottest wife on the planet, man. Pornhub. I canceled my Pornhub membership 8 years ago when I met my beautiful wife, Lauren. I'm like, no, I don't need that anymore. I got the best wife in the world, man. Who needs the Pornhub? So no, you guys can watch all the Pornhub you want. come tell me all about it. But I'm pretty happy over here. Thank you very much. Yellowbird, hello guys. Yeah, that's us. Thanks for showing up. Yellowbird, you got a question? We'd love to take it here on the show.
Please don't ask anything crazy, man. Please.
Oh, Yellowbird, lay some heavy stuff on the table. Come on, baby.
I guess we've seen it all here. We've seen it all.
Oh, there you go. So, gents, your mind will also exaggerate the embarrassment of failure, as Arnold says.
Oh,
it's important to be honest with yourself about this. And we hear this all the time, right? We hear this all, I don't want to make a video because I'm too embarrassed. People are going to, or I don't want to make a social post because I'm in the Marty voice right now. Because I don't want to, people are going to think I'm funny. People are not going to like what I do. So I don't want to do that. Actually, the only person you're embarrassing is your own mirror. Nobody actually cares where you're thinking it's failure. Go own your failure, get off your ass and do something.
Yes, brother. Yes. Everybody, most people are more afraid of what people are going to think or say about the failure rather than the failure itself.
Yes.
As soon as you recognize failure is the front door to success, all the successful people will applaud your failures. All the shit talkers will talk shit about your failures. So the question is, who do you want to listen to? Do you want to listen to the people you aspire to be like, or do you want to listen to the people who are basically sitting on a couch eating Cheetos?
Well, some people want to listen to the people eating Cheetos.
Yeah,
because they relate to them.
Yeah. And those people, they can tune out. They can go tune into the different show. They're not part of our show.
There's shows for them.
That's it. It's exactly it. All right, next one up, guys. There will always be people who doubt you. Oh, who root against you. Oh, let them. Oh yeah, baby, let them. You have your vision, John Anderson. You know what's going to work for you, Christopher Martin. And you know what it takes to bring your vision to life. Ignore the naysayers. I know that it's so common and so cliche, but if you're getting your day started like Good Time was and Good Times, like I'm having a bad day, to hell with what anybody says right now. Go own yourself. To hell with anybody else.
Yes.
And
100%.
that includes, I was going to say, that includes, somebody in your family might be a naysayer or a friend, it could be your girlfriend or a boyfriend. So
it's a barometer, man. It's a barometer. It tells you you're on the right track. That goes right back to my saying, if they're talking smack, you're on the right track. And it sucks if it's, your brother, your uncle, or maybe even your mother, your father. But the bottom line is if they're talking smack, you're on the right track. So all you've done is you basically push that button in them that they've got the limiting beliefs. So because they have limiting beliefs, they are going to try to apply that shit to you.
It's true. And I know we like to not, add negativity to our fires here in the morning, but I'll just offer this. If somebody's beating up on you, if somebody's negative around you, it's okay to use that as fuel. I'm giving you permission. Use it as fuel to prove them wrong. Use them as fuel to walk around with your finger up and saying, yeah, all right. Do it your way. Do it your way.
You know what, too, Keith?
Yeah.
When we talked about venting earlier, I was going to say sometimes I don't vent just to bitch. Sometimes that the vent, it gives me fuel to just overcome whatever just pissed me off. So sometimes I do it just to get to that next level.
Yeah, well said, Marty. Well, and you get this one. I love this one. Good time. Keep hustling till your haters are asking if you're hiring.
There we go. That's good.
I like that.
That's good.
Good time. That's awesome. Keep hustling till your haters are asking if you're hiring. Dude, that is awesome, right? Because one day, Johnny, Marty, your haters are hating. Then you kind of go away for months. And the next thing you know, all they see is ad. Yeah,
well, when we talked about my story last week, I talked about how the people making fun of me were asking me to train them.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So you're going to find times throughout your life, guys, as Arnold says, your mind is going to be your greatest enemy. Never mind the naysayers around you. Your mind is going to be your biggest naysayer. So learning to overcome yourself is much more important than learning how to overcome anyone else. And Johnny, before I throw it to you, Nation, you're starting your day right now because I've been there. So I'm going to relate to you guys right now. Your mind is beating you. Your mind is beating you. Your mind is beating you. Slow down. Be aware of it. Johnny.
100%. I mean, I'm telling you, when your mind is telling you X, Y, Z, okay, entertain that. Okay, the worst can happen is this. I can live with that. Here's the thing. You know, if you're listening to this right now, you've got a 100% survival rate of all of the challenges that have hit you in your life. So your mind's got you all bent out of shape about something. Just, okay, what's the worst case scenario? I'm still going to wake up tomorrow. Well, let's just take that fear. Let's take this feeling of being uncomfortable. Let's take that feeling or that pit in our stomach, turn it into positive energy, and go get what we want.
Oh, I like that. Marty?
John, you're on point today, man.
It's good. It's good. It's getting out.
No, but he's absolutely right. You know, you got through, I'm 31. So I got through 31 years of challenges and obstacles, and I'm here. You know,
that's it. 100% survival rate, baby.
I'm here, 100%. So I absolutely agree.
Yeah. And Marty, you think about those times as a young pup, and I know myself too, and Johnny, those times you think it's all over or you can't do it, you just battle through it, right? You got to keep those feet moving, right? So, gentlemen, there are times for thinking, and there are times to be the machine. Arnold talks about starting every day like a machine. Yes. Everything is an automatic pilot. He wakes up, he makes coffee, I feed all my animals, then I drink my coffee, get on my bike, ride to the gym to train. And here's what I like, guys. I don't turn my brain on until I've biked to breakfast after the gym. So we go back to yesterday's show, right? Arnold's like, we have too many distractions. You go to the gym, you're spending too much time on your phone. You're spending too much time taking pictures. You're spending too much time over-sexualizing your experience at the gym. I grew up going to the gym like Johnny and Arnold, where we didn't have those distractions. You just got into your mind. So I would invite you, as you're going to the gym today, maybe put your phone aside, put it down, put it in your pocket, leave it in your car, and try to be in your head for those 45 minutes. That's really all you need in the gym, 45 minutes, 30, 45. Yep. Get in your head and just be there. And then when you leave the gym, get onto the phone. Marty, Johnny.
What I love about this is, and you hear me talk about it all the time, is habits, right? Mm-hmm. And the majority of our behavior is habits, subconscious. We don't think about it. It's like we just, you got to go to the bathroom. You find yourself walking towards the toilet. When you wake up in the morning, you can have all these different series of events that you want to happen that your body will carry out without thinking about it. This is your time to basically check all the boxes before your brain gets in the way.
Yes, absolutely. I like this next one from Arnold too, boys, and I think we all subscribe to this, but this one here, nation, I want you to hang on this one with what I say next. And I'm going to add to this. This is the first part's from me. Ignore everyone else. Here's from Arnold. Build your own routine. Not John Anderson's routine, not Marty's routine, not Keith's routine. Build your routine. We all have different goals and different visions. Create an hour or two every day where you don't need an ounce of brain power and everything happens on autopilot. Anderson talks about habits. Marty talks about structure, right? But in order for that to happen, you need to make it your own routine. John's going to teach you things. I'm going to offer things. Marty's going to give you ideas. But then it's up to you. There's no magic snake oil to having a six-pack. There's no magic snake oil to building a company and selling it for $50 million. There's no magic snake oil to become a D1 athlete. No, there's none of that. It's structure, it's commitment, it's habits, and then you stack them. But your own habits, your own structure. John, Marty.
100%, man. You got to base. Of course, it's great to see. We all look at other people, look at people that we emulate, that we look up to. Yes. Take a bite out of what they're doing, but make it your own. Don't just mimic someone else, because ultimately you're going to find the things that you do are going to continue to evolve as they serve you better and better. And you got to stay true to what's serving you. If you're doing something and you're in the morning out of bed that's not helping you, maybe it's time to replace that with something that is.
Very, very true. So
I was going to say, I always look at, this is for myself, and I tell my clients this too. If I want to be where someone else is, like, am I doing what they're doing? What's their process? Sometimes you just got to change your process or change your routine. So if I'm not doing what they're doing, or, if my client isn't doing what someone else is doing, then that's your answer right there.
Observation is one of the greatest techniques in life, right? And we talked about yesterday, our kids don't listen, our kids observe, right? So if you're working with somebody right now, observe how that person's having success, and then make their processes, their habits your own. Inam drops in here with Sir John sharing some very good life experience with us. Yes, he is. Big respect. And let's see here. I need to kind of read this here because Adam has a question, and his question is,
Don't read that. Don't read that. Don't read that. Don't read that.
Dude. Adam, if you want to get on the show, you can offer up some content of value, because we like to offer content of value. And again, and here's what I love. I'm sorry, Keith. I know. I love people who love to take the time, Johnny and Marty, who write these long soliloquies. It's just, I know you're trolling Adam, but I love the fact that right now you're trolling us. You're giving us time to our channel. You're adding minutes up to views. You're just, the ticker's going.
Hey, listen, we're on. All it tells us is we're on the right track. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
No,
Thank you.
Keith. Yeah. Keith is so innocent, man. Keith was gonna read the comment out loud.
What? No, Marty. It was my failing eyes. I was having to squint because I can't. I'm so determined, and I wonder if John's the same way. I'm so determined not to increase the display density because I don't want to be those old guys where like the font is like the size of my house. So I'm like, okay, I'm just squinting to see if it's all good there. But yeah, we are.
I got you. I'm still young. I got you.
Yeah, I can't. A comment that big, if I try to read that, I'm going to lose track of what everybody's saying. And the next thing you know, Keith's going to go, John, and I'm going to be sitting there holding on to my Johnson, not knowing what to say.
So Marty, so John and Keith privately have this. We haven't said this out loud to each other, but John's like, okay, I'm going to trust Bilous' eyes are better than mine. So when you read something, I'm just going to nod and say, okay, if Bilous says it's good, he's going to say it's good to me. So Johnny's like, as long as Keith can read it, I'm good. That's what John's thinking in his head.
I got a new job nowadays.
That's right. Job. He's got the eye, and the crazy part is I got reading glasses on, and I still can't make that. It's the dyslexia, man. All the words that are just flip flopping. I can't put it together.
Oh, that's it. Good time trolls are good for business. You are right. Good time it is. If they are talking smack, we are on the right track. That's our tagline here in the lab, where we build business athletes. Here on August 6th, a Tuesday morning, we drop the show 8 o'clock Eastern time every single day, guys, to help you guys get going. So we're a brand new morning show. You're thinking Stern, thinking Letterman, thinking old school nostalgic talk show radio. That's what we bring here, with a little bit of attitude and obviously positive conversation and real deals. Taking some notes here, of course. And Adam, yes, we are live every single morning. We welcome you to the show. Come back, take some time to offer some characters into the feed, because all those characters help pay the bills for us one day here. So continuing our chat, 77 steps from Arnold. Guys, think of life like a play, and it will ease your mind when you've challenged or when someone stands in your way. So Arnold talks about when he had a rival in bodybuilding, or when Hollywood agents told him he couldn't do something or never could be a leading man. He never got angry with them. He said to himself, okay, so every story needs a villain. Everybody has a role. What role can I be? And then where can I put my energy into being that role?
Yes. I mean, God, what role are you playing in the movie of your life? Are you an extra in your own movie? You're the guy sitting on the bench that's playing with his phone? Are you the guy up? Are you the hero? What's your story? What is it that you are you happy being the guy sitting on the bench waiting for the bus on the phone? No. Don't be an extra in your own life.
Don't be a non-playable character in your own life.
There we go.
I was hanging out with my children last night, and I was like, hey, kids, Marty. So everybody at the table, Marty was like, NPC. And I was like, yeah, Marty taught Keith and Johnny NPCs yesterday. So Marty, Johnny, the whole generation at the whole table last night was all making jokes at our expense. But, dude, I had your back, man. I was defending us old dudes here. So listen, so Arnold gets into this, guys. A lot of people... Yes, exactly. A lot of people think that Arnold has been successful because he's a machine who charges towards goals with no emotions. Now, nation, ears perk up, please. That could not be further from the truth. Get this. Big old Arnold, he laughs, he cries, he loves. Most importantly, he embraces his emotions. So, gents, all you big Brutus, all you big men out there looking at Keith and John and Marty, no, we cry. We have emotions. We laugh. Don't be afraid to put those emotions out there. Right? Those emotions are what fuel you forward. When you hold the emotions in, they hold you back. Marty, John.
Marty, you want to jump on this one? I've been eating up the first run all day.
You have been. You definitely have to embrace your emotions. It's part of being human. It's part of life. It's okay to feel angry, sad, whatever. A lot of times when you try to hold those in and try to be the tough guy, which a lot of men do, which I've even had that at times in my life. I'm sure you guys have as well.
Yes.
It only leads to detriment. So, it's better to be vulnerable and really embrace how you're feeling. And that's how you're going to overcome the obstacle or the challenge or whatever's making you feel that way.
Yeah, it's so true. Well, and Arnold plays on that, Marty. Don't bottle anything up, Johnny.
Yep.
When you feel grief, let it out. Because if you don't, the longer you wait, the bigger the pressure becomes, and then eventually it becomes an explosion. And I will admit, it happens to me, right? And it's happened to me, even times through my relationship, right? Where I've had to learn. I'm feeling my emotions venting up, and I'm starting to bottle. I pause. I have the awareness. I slow it down and go and communicate, right? And it's having that awareness, Marty.
I was going to say one thing too that people do is to say you and Lauren are going through something, and Lauren brings up an issue. Hey Keith, I don't like XYZ. Then you think that's the time for you to bring up something that you kept bottled up, and it's like, no, man, you should have brought that up a long time ago. It's not time for that. So that's another thing. So don't keep anything bottled up.
And Marty, I've been guilty of that. Again, I feel like my role in the show, and I know John, all of this is to be relatable to our audience. Right, we want to be authentic and real. Marty, I've been there, dude. I've been there where I'm in the middle of a fight, and all of a sudden I pull something out from back. I'm like, really? And then I say it, and then I say to myself, "What the hell are you doing, man?"
What was that?
No, isn't it, Johnny? Though, right? Because you've been married for a long time, and you're like, you pull it out, and it's funny. I had a conversation with a fellow, Darren. So it's shaking Darren Mass, and I was talking, and he said to me,
"What's up, Darren?" And
he says to me, he says, "Keith," he says, when I sat down with my wife as we were going through our relationship and getting married. He says, I said to her, honey, I'm going to be the worst fighter ever. When we fight, I'm going to be the worst at it. Don't take anything that I say as truth or reality. Just listen to my words. Allow me to say them, because I'm going to be a horrible argumenter. And what I really enjoyed about him sharing that with me, boys, was that he knew how he argued or fought with his significant other, and he just laid it out there. He's like, this is how it's going to be. Don't take anything I say, as gospel. It's just going to be what it's going to be, and they're going to be words, and I'm not meaning to hurt you.
Interesting.
He's transparent.
Very much so, yes. And I know, Marty, I know how much you value transparency with your relationships and with your partnerships, right? So, and this one, and as we, and Jimmy, we're going to wrap this one up. Then we're going to go to Creator Spotlight, and then we're going to come back to our business athlete conversation. But gentlemen, wrapping up our conversation with Arnold here today, and I love this one the most, which is why I want to hang on to it and dig into this one for a couple of minutes. Tell people what they mean to you now. I've always hated, and I know, guys, you've heard me long enough I said on the show, and I've said in a lot of my videos, if you're thinking about somebody, send them a note. Tell them you're thinking about them. Tell a friend, you say, what, I'm shaking. Arnold says, I've always hated that everybody stands up at a funeral and gives a beautiful eulogy, but they didn't share those thoughts when the person could hear them. Right? And Arnold says, I started a new tradition. You might not know this, but every newspaper pre-writes the obituaries for well-known people. Some newspapers, have even asked to interview me for my own obituary. It sounds morbid, but it said it gave him an idea. When one of my dear friends is facing terminal cancer, I knew that I would write a eulogy. Instead of waiting, I did it early. I was able to share it with them before she left us. So I guess really what Arnold's saying is, and I'm going to perhaps wrap it up in a nice little bow here. For somebody in your life right now who you haven't talked to recently, or if you do talk to regularly, don't take it for granted that they know how you feel about them. Don't take it for granted that they are aware that you're important to them. Take the time to tell them that. Take the time to, remind them of the impact that they've had on your life. Man, that moment is going to be exceptional for the two of you. And I say that not to create mushiness, but I say that to create awareness. John Anderson.
Brother, every morning, and I don't miss. I'm good. When it comes to repeating something, I'm on the point. Every morning, I text my mom and my 3 daughters and my lovely wife. I text them every morning and tell them I love them, and something, some mornings I'm a little tight with time. I just give them a quick, I love your heart. Other times I'll tell them something that I appreciate about them, because I'm not wasting a day with telling the people that are the most important to me how special they are, and not missing a day.
Yes. Marty.
I was going to say too, just, telling someone what they mean to you and how you feel about them, that makes me feel good.
Yes.
Like that makes my day. Like I love to tell people like how much I appreciate it, how much I love them. That makes me feel great. So,
brother, that's so true. It's so true. So true.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Got all excited.
You good. No, I was going to say a lot of people act like it's hating or it's going to take a whole bunch of energy, and it really doesn't take that. That's all I was going to say.
Well, because like when I started doing this with my ladies, I explained to them, look, I don't need a response. This is not, I'm not doing this with the idea that I'm getting something in return. I'm doing this because I want to tell you I love you, or I want to tell you that you're special. And if you choose to return the text, it's totally fine. But tomorrow it's going to happen again, whether you respond or not. So there's no obligation here. And that's the thing. We don't just, in today's world, we don't give just to give. We give with the idea that we're going to receive. And that whole thing needs to stop.
Yep.
Yeah. I take such great joy and pleasure telling somebody how much I appreciate them.
Yeah.
Right. Because I love those words. Those words are very meaningful to me. And I believe that when you express that to somebody else, I think when they really take the time to understand them, they're powerful words, because what I'm really saying is that not only do I love you or like you, but I really appreciate you. Like I appreciate what you bring to the table. I appreciate your words, your character, your attitude. And that's I don't know if we say that enough to people, but I really I get a lot of joy, like yourself, Marty and John. I know even after our shows here, we always tell each other we appreciate each other. It's a powerful way to keep moving forward. A powerful way to have a relationship with somebody, right? Reminding. So, all right, guys. So that's going to wrap up this segment of the show here. I'm going to dip into the creator spotlight here quickly, Jimmy. Again, my goal here is we are building the airplane as we fly with this show, and trying to continue to build community and invite people into the show. And it's this part of the show where I want to shine a light on somebody on the platforms, and we are going to keep extending our lights to X and to Threads and to Instagram and Substack. Right now, we've been focusing on the LinkedIn platform, and we call this the Creator Spotlight. And at this point, Jimmy, I'm going to pull up on the vertical here. At this point in the show, we like to take the old light and we like to shine it on somebody. And today I want to shine it on, yeah, exactly, Marty. I want to shine on somebody who's been doing a really wonderful job, engaging with content, engaging with all the things that we do here in the lab. And that is Ivan Pollack. Ivan is an investor. He is somebody who is built his company. He had an eight-figure exit. He helped business owners out of the grind of daily operations to grow and sell their 7 or 8-figure businesses. Now, Johnny's just up the road from you down there in California. But what I liked about Ivan is, if you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur listening to our show right now, going through the process of growing or looking to sell your company, Ivan's invested blood, sweat, tears into growing the business. He sold it. And now he works with guys like yourself, ladies like yourself, to help you navigate what it's like to get out of that, right? Yeah. He's got an advisory board. He uses a vast network of investors to provide capital expertise. You might say to yourself, why do you want to work with Ivan and his wife, Mariana? They got proven success. They've personally scaled companies to extraordinary heights. He's got deep expertise, a track record of advising diverse businesses. I have been engaging with Ivan's content, and he's been engaging with our content as well, gentlemen. The guy leads with empathy, which is really one of the reasons I wanted to shine a light on him. Is I can tell he's a human first. I can tell he's somebody, Marty, that would engage in a dialogue. I can tell he's somebody that might have a different opinion, but would want to learn from you, right? He understands the emotional and practical challenges of exiting a business. So I invite you, nation, check out Ivan Pollack on LinkedIn, whether you want to sell your business, whether you're looking for advice, entrepreneurial advice, or ways to grow your business or transform it. Ivan Pollack out there in California will be there to help you. He is going to be the guy I'm showcasing in today's Creative Spotlight. So that's the part where we do that over there. We're going to remove that over there. And now, gentlemen, I want to pivot. Where's my notes here, guys? We're going to get into the conversation on business athletes. No, actually, here's what we're going to do. Marty, why don't we do this? Why don't we get you set up here? I'm going to look into the comments here while you're getting set up for the fitness tip. Jimmy, we're going to throw Marty's fitness tip on the stage, and then we're going to do the back 12 minutes of the show, 12, 15 minutes of the show around the business athlete. What is a business athlete? Understanding one, talking about it as we continue inviting Business Athlete Nation into our house here. So, Jimmy, we're going to do this. Johnny, it's time for you to...
I get another piss. This is perfect.
Exactly it. So this is going to happen here.
Perfect.
Boom.
Start sprinting, John.
There you go, Johnny. Marty, you're up, pal.
Let's do it, man. All right, we got the fitness tip for today. Let's get into it. Good posture does more than keep your back healthy. It boosts your confidence too. When you stand tall, shoulders back, and chest open, you send a message to yourself and others. You're ready to take on the world. Good posture aligns your spine and improves breathing, which boosts oxygen flow and keeps your mind sharp. And I can tell you this, weightlifting, resistance training definitely helps with your posture. And so does during your cardio session, not holding on to the rail, walking up straight, working on that balance. Those are great for your posture. But beyond the physical, it projects strength and self-assurance. So if you're feeling down or unsure, straighten up. It's a small change that makes a big difference. Keep your head up high. Look confident. Look like you know what you're doing. Look like you know where you're going. And it'll send the right signal to people. That's your fitness tip for today.
I like that. See Marty fitness tip of the day. We drop it every single day on the show. We got the accountability check-in, something to keep your mind moving forward, to get you going. And we got the See Marty Fit tip, something that will give you some tangible advice to help yourself stay fit and stay active.
Yes, sir.
And get the day rolling. All right, Johnny's out there. Let's see, Adam's popping in here. Adam, you got stuck in a hamster wheel doing early dead-end jobs, thinking working harder would help me in dead-end jobs. I'm 43 with no marketable skills. Adam, I think that hence my search for anything that may give me a sustainable future. Adam, I think my advice for you, my advice for you is got to keep rolling, pal. The fact that you're here on the show this morning, the fact that you found a show that hopefully will give you some positive inspiration, some positive words to help you move forward will get you, considering taking ownership. No, wrong choice of words. Not that I'm suggesting you're taking ownership, just this idea of continue battling, pal. Just continue battling. And I know, Adam, if you keep showing up, pal, stuff's going to happen. I'm pretty confident with you there.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Inam pops in with, yeah, Marty, I agree with you. Good physique, giving confidence that no other things can give. And the power of a good physique, right? I say this, I say this with all confidence in the world. The best flex you can have as a 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old human is your physique. That's what it is. Because when you walk, one last comment, John Marty, when you walk out in the world amongst your peers, they can see how you live your life, not with how you've spent your money disguising your life. Think about that.
Well, we have status in all different parts of life. We have status in how successful we are with finances. We have status with how, the habits in our life. We have status of how we look. We have status in our relationships. So you got to look at it. It's not just the physique. The habits that you had to build to create that physique are going to spread into the rest of your life, whether you like it or not.
Yes. And nation.
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about the physique. You got to have, the six pack, the big jack shoulders like Johnny or Lauren or Marty. I'm saying that it's having that body, it's having that physique that adheres to the lifestyle that you're living, that lifestyle of longevity, that lifestyle that meets your goals, that lifestyle that you're like, yes, I want to go cycling with my grandchildren when I'm 80. Yes, I want to go for a walk with my great grandchildren when I'm 100. Right. Yes. And what I'm hoping is you're tuning into the show right now. If you're in Marty's demographic, as we work into the world of being a business athlete, you're looking at Keith and John, you're thinking of your parents, thinking about your aunt and uncle going, yeah, I want to be like that. Well, to be like that, it's habit stacking. It's doing these little accumulative things that help you move forward, which gets us into the conversation, guys, around what is this? What is a business athlete? Now, gents, when I invited you into my world over the last number of months, we met because I invited you onto my show Live in the Lab with Keith Bilous. And as I sat and got to know you guys, I've charted with you this concept, this idea of a business athlete. And since then, I've had people knocking on my door saying, Keith, what is a business athlete? Am I a business athlete? Are you a business athlete? Well, I can tell you right now, John Anderson's a business athlete. Marty's a business athlete. I'm a business athlete. And I want to talk to you, nation, about what is a business athlete. So let's get into it, gentlemen. Understanding one, the discipline and mindset. A business athlete combines the focus and mental strength of an athlete with a passion for personal accountability and growth. Gents, accountability is the core of a business athlete. You prioritize accountability, you set high standards, consistently working to achieve those goals. I know you, John, you are goal-oriented. I know you, Marty, you're goal-oriented and driven. You're always striving for excellence. You have a high work ethic. You're focused on self-improvement. You're dedicated to continuous improvement, valuing mental wellness and physical wellness as part of your journey. You both recognize that one goes with the other. You both recognize that, okay, I'm strong, but I need to be mentally strong as well. It's great that I'm mentally strong, but I need to be physically strong as well. You recognize that one hand goes into the other. And John, I'm going to look at you for a second. I'm going to suspect, because we're the same age, growing up, we weren't taught to think about mental strength. We weren't taught to think about mental wellness. We were taught to think about the physical strength. Let's talk about how that mind shift has changed in the last number of years, Johnny, where that mental strength, that power of you going into the gym and getting into the squat rack happens as much up here as it happens in the glutes and the thighs and the legs. Johnny, dig into the mental strength of being a business athlete.
I mean, it's all one, you know, it's like people just don't quite understand that it's like this is a package. When you find people that have, I guess you'd say, if you start looking at successful people, you'll find a lot of people that have fairly successful, but they've really neglected certain parts of their life, such as their health and their fitness. But you keep going up, you don't find highly, highly successful people that are 500 pounds. You don't find those people that are type 2 diabetics because they've adapted the habits to take care of themselves. Their standard is high in all areas of their life.
Yes. Business Athletes Nation, you enjoy being fun, spirited, and humorous. You see how we are here on the show. We bring a sense of humor and a sense of humility that I think helps us stay balanced. Adaptability, longevity, and connection. Business athletes are highly adaptable. I look at Marty. Marty started as a D1 athlete, heads out to Los Angeles to build a career as a trainer. Pandemic happens. He's like, holy smokes, I got to adapt. I got to adapt or I'm gonna die. He adapted, came back to Maryland, became a trainer, trains other athletes and other humans around the world. But the point is, Marty viewed that challenge as an opportunity for growth. He didn't view it as a challenge of, oh, I guess I'm done now. That's the power of a business athlete, accepting the idea of adaptability. Johnny, looking at you and I, we aim for longevity, careers and personal lives, focusing on sustainable success and balancing career with personal interests. And business athletes, guys, value genuine human connection. We talked about it a while ago about having an opinion. Oh, John, I don't agree with what you have to say, but I want to hear from you. I want to hear what makes you have that opinion. I want you to teach me about your opinion because I want to connect with you as a human being. And I'm going to be okay recognizing that I don't agree with what Marty has to say, but I value the connection that we've created together. And I'm seeking to understand the differences, Marty, that you and I have. That is what I'm hoping that we can continue to teach Business Athlete Nation. Let's have a conversation. Let's work to understand each other through the power of a genuine human connection. Leadership and aspirations. Johnny.
That's heavy, bro. That's deep stuff, you know?
But it's true though. And I think that's the power of being a business athlete is, and Marty, we talk about it all the time, right? You go to X, you go to Threads, you can't have a conversation with somebody. Come to our show. I created this show to have a live conversation because I want to hear from you. I want to hear your differences. I want to hear why you think the way you think. But I'm going to do it under the auspices of a strong, genuine human connection. That's one thing that I know I can stand up here and talk with John about together. For all you guys that are within our peer group but a little bit younger, we put our pants on the same way. We pee in the same toilet. And I know what, there's humor in that, but it's the human connection that we often forget about. right? Here's what else talk about as business athletes. If you're a business athlete, you're going to resonate with this as well. You see yourself as confident or an aspirational leader. Maybe you're listening to me right now going, I think I'm a leader, but I want to learn how to lead effectively. Well, Marty said it moments ago. Look to those who you aspire to be like and listen to them and watch them and observe them. Value their mentorship and perhaps join the community of business athletes.
And on that level, brother, you know, if people that want to be leaders are working on leadership, you got to lead yourself first.
Oh, yes.
If you don't lead, if you can't lead yourself, how are you going to lead someone else? And the best part about it, when you lead yourself well, when you have the consistency, you have the habits, you have the mental fortitude, people will follow because they're attracted to that.
Very much.
I get into it with people all the time because I say trainers need to be fit or trainers need to be in shape. And it's so controversial, but it's like, how am I going to lead you if I can't lead myself first? So I agree with that 1,000%.
Marty, I'm glad you said that. I just thought about this morning. I'm going to get the NFL camp wrong. What camp was it? Was it Kansas?
Well, you already said you're going to get it wrong, so just spit it out.
Yeah. So this last week, no, thank you, Johnny. Thanks for giving me the permission to do that. This last week, a head coach of an NFL camp told all of his other coaches, you're all going through camp before the players show up. Because you can't be 100 pounds overweight. You can't be. If I'm going to ask,
you send me that? Can you send me that?
Yeah,
please send me that.
And I love it because it's that old idea. I'm not going to vent. I'm going to exasperate positively. How can I lead you as a leader if I can't do what I'm asking you to do? And even Elon, Marty, that podcast sent you yesterday with Elon's like, yes, any job that I do, I need to be able to come over to John, if he's my employee, do John's job, at least a part of it.
Yep.
Because if I'm going to lead John, I need to be able to show John.
I agree.
For the CEO. So the coach of the football team's like, okay, guys, before camp starts, we're all going to do a mini camp of all the same drills we're putting the players through. Goes right back to Marty's point. If you're hiring a trainer, you might want to hire a trainer that lives the life you want to live.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, it's so simple. I mean, if you're going to teach, if you're going to coach, if you're going to basically help someone else be better, you've got to have that nailed down yourself.
Yes. And Deuce says it well here, man. Deuce, you're absolutely right, man. Lead by example. It's the oldest cliche in the book, but there's so much truth to that. Yeah. And then a mom pops in with being a good physique in our 60s and 70s. We can set example and role models for our coming generation. You're bang on, Anam. You are bang on. Now I'm leaning into the final number of points of what is a business athlete and are you a business athlete? And I'm offering this up as we continue to build our community here in Business Athlete Nation, because that's what we do here in Mornings in the Lab and at the Business Athlete Performance Lab. We build business athletes. So if you're sitting here listening to me and listening to John and Marty, and you're thinking, I want to be one, I aspire to be one, join our community. We will help you be one. Listen, business athletes, in my experience and what I'm seeing, and I'm going to offer this up to you, Nation, and here's where I'm going to get really specific. Are you a remote worker, a hybrid worker? Maybe you're a solopreneur. Maybe you're an entrepreneur. Maybe you're a creator who desires structure or seeks a dynamic lifestyle. Maybe you're working in an organization who aspires to be somewhat self-sufficient and remote. If you are lost or don't feel like you belong somewhere, you belong with us. You belong in the Business Athlete Performance Lab. You belong on Mornings in the Lab. Yep. I have worked remote, hybrid my entire life. And so has John Anderson. And so has Christopher Martin. You are working with three guys that know the world you're living in. I built an entire company on a virtual hybrid workspace. I'm introverted. I enjoy communicating this way. Marty's an introverted soul. I think in some ways Johnny probably is, right? I love communicating using the internet. Sure, I love communicating, in person. I'm curious about tech. I weave AI into everything I do, and we're teaching Johnny to do the same thing. And Marty weaves AI into his world. But I'm inviting you, Nation. If you're a remote hybrid worker, you belong here with us. You belong here with us. I cannot emphasize that enough. And I'm going to wrap with this. Business athletes, you nation, you aspire to build a solid foundation in both your career, your personal life, and you do that by being motivated by achieving career milestones. Financial security. Yeah, go make cash. I'm tired of people going, I'm going to go change the world. No, go make some cash first, then go change the world. That's the order of importance. Make cash, take care of your family, take care of your children, then go change the world. Y'all got it wrong when you get in your social media. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go change the world. No, go make some money.
Well, you know how much easier it is to change the world when you got some unlimited funds to throw at the world?
Yes. So as a business athlete nation, I know this. I know that you aim to create a legacy, and I know that you pursue a higher purpose. And I have created, along with my friends, John and Marty, we have created this show and this lab to give you a place to belong. So I invite you to keep tuning into the show, keep tuning into the content that we're creating as we keep bringing out this idea, this attitude, this mantra of being a business athlete, because that's what we do here in the lab. We build business athletes. John Anderson.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, when it comes down to it, there's a lot of common threads to this whole thing. You know, we're business athlete. It's like we're talking about being successful everywhere. We're not talking about being successful in your business and having terrible relationships and terrible health. We're talking about creating the habits and the rhythms of life that are going to help you excel everywhere.
Yes. Marty.
I think one thing that needs to be talked about more is the effects of fitness on the mental health, because business is the ultimate sport.
Yes.
Right. Business is super competitive. Right. A lot of business guys have the mind of an elite athlete. Right. And so if you understand that, that mindset is going to help you attack your business, help you excel. So if you're in business, you're an athlete pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So you got to add the fitness part to it as well, because you're competing at a high level. It's only going to benefit you. So
Marty's absolutely right. And those of you that are thinking about going into business or are wanting to be an entrepreneur, or perhaps are a struggling entrepreneur or a struggling solopreneur because you're having some struggles with habit stacking or getting some structure in place, I cannot strongly encourage you enough. Go climb a mountain, go run a marathon, go do a triathlon, go do a bodybuilding competition, do something fitness related, wellness related, that will encourage you to put the structure in your life to succeed at that, because that is only going to roll over into your business life and make your business successful. I say this all the time, John Anderson. Some people go, yeah, Keith, I want to start a business. Go run a marathon first, then come see me. Or go climb Mount Kilimanjaro, then come see me. Well, why, Keith? Because the time it's going to take you to put into that commitment, if you can do that, then go do the business. Save yourself the heartache, the business, the money, the relationships. Go and take care of yourself first before you want to do that. Johnny.
And breaking that down, when to say climb the mountain, do a competition. For most people, that makes them feel very uncomfortable. Like, whoa, I don't know if I can do that. Well, that's exactly, you got to learn to negotiate that emotion, that feeling. It's a drill. It's an exercise. It's really not about the mountain. It's not about the competition. It's about you learning to be comfortable in that uncomfortable situations. When that voice says, oh God, I don't know if I can do that, you say, you know what? It's going to suck, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's what this is about.
As a business athlete, we embrace the uncomfortability. Listen, I had some uncomfortable situations yesterday that I didn't like to have to go into, but I did. And I had to, I embraced them, and I embraced the conversations that were part of them. And because that's what we do, right? We lead with transparency. We run towards the feeling of uncomfortability. And then when we get comfortable, we do it again. Yes. Right. And that's like, and that's funny because when I climb Kilimanjaro, it's like those metaphors, right, guys? You hit a base camp, you get comfortable. Okay, you got to go higher again. You hit a base camp, you get comfortable, you got to go higher again. That's how you achieve. It's like lifting, John, Marty. Okay, I hit my 225 bench. Okay, add 2 more 5s. Now 230. Exactly. And Adam, guys, Adam's been hanging out, man. Adam, dude, I appreciate you hanging out, pal. I got to give you. Absolutely. I got to give you some. I got to give you some applause. Adam, I appreciate you hanging out, pal. That's awesome, man, that you've stuck around here on the show here. And Adam, I don't appreciate that though. You made it. Marty doesn't always make good points, but and then as Jordan Peterson. Yes, that's exactly it. And of course, Adam always says, "Show me the money," and that's something else, guys. Entrepreneurs don't talk enough about. I don't know what it is, John, Marty. Everybody wants to talk about changing the world and doing all these good things. Nah, go make some money. And don't be ashamed of that. Don't be ashamed of somebody saying, "Oh, you're shallow because you want to go make money." No, go make money.
Well, brother, it's that limiting belief that people have about money. We're taught that money. People get stressed out when they think about money because the way that we're kind of born into this goofy set of limiting beliefs.
Yes.
Money's not bad. Money's just going to amplify who you are. If you're a troublemaker, you got a lot of money, you're going to be a bigger troublemaker.
It's true. So, gents, we're going to wrap up the show here in a couple moments. But before we do that, I want to lean into one last point of being a business athlete, and it is a big one, nation. It is a big, big, big one. And I know that it's going to relate to many men listening to the show right now and or listening to the show as they're aging. Hear me clearly, nation. A recent study, Gallup study, reveals that 20% of workers feel lonely, feel isolated, feel not part of something. That loneliness diminishes motivation. It reduces productivity. It negatively impacts your mental health. I'm inviting you to come belong with us. We're giving you a place to belong. I know what it's like to be a remote worker. I know what it's like to onboard remote and hybrid workers. I know what it's like, John and Marty, when you hire somebody on a Friday or a Thursday, and it's like, okay, Monday, I'm showing up for work, and they got to walk into their office or their home, and they show up in front of the computer like, okay, so now what do I do? There's nobody around me. Like, what do I do? Right? So I know the unique challenges that face you guys. I know that you want to have this high work ethic, but you feel alone. So I'm inviting you, if you feel alone and you feel disconnected, we're creating the lab. We're creating this morning show for you guys. So guys, we're gonna keep rolling into the business athlete mindset. We're gonna keep rolling into what is a business athlete. We're gonna keep throwing out questions. Are you a business athlete? Over the coming days, we're gonna get into the lab. Why? Because we want you guys to keep leaning into us to know how we can help you.
Yes.
We are creating the world's first virtual space, the Business Athlete Performance Lab. My vision for this nation is that in the near future, you're going to get on an airplane and wake up anywhere in the world and have this morning show for you. So whether you're waking up in Australia, waking up in the Middle East, waking up in Dubai, waking up anywhere in the world, there will be mornings in the lab to help you get your day started, to help you achieve the biggest, most audacious goals in your life. It's the reason, that's the vision behind the Business Athlete Performance Lab. Gents, I'm going to stop it now because I get a sense we got some good flow here today, guys. We got some great flow. I can sense we can work our way to the second hour, but I'm going to stop it because Uncle Keith's starting to do a dance here in the chair. So we're going to wrap it up here. Guys, I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation, thoroughly enjoyed the company here today. We've had some great commentary from Business Athlete Nation. Good time. Thank you for sticking around here today. Please don't be afraid, and please subscribe to the channel, Mornings in the Lab channel. We started the chat. I thought you were trolling us. Of course you weren't. I hope that by the time the show is
hilarious.
Yeah, I'm hoping that you're having a positive restart to your day. Adam's joining us from Germany. I appreciate you, Adam. If that's where you're joining us from, that's fantastic. Of course, we also have our friend Enzo, always here, joining us from the future. Enzo, if you're sleeping, good morning, my friend. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, let's wrap it up, guys. Johnny, highlight for the show for you today, pal. New question for you today. Highlight for today's show for you.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. There's so many different great points of the show.
Yeah.
I think when it comes down to it, the part that I really like about is when we talk about this stuff and we create little takeaways for people.
Yes.
And there was a few of them because when it comes down to it, I want people to show up and think, man, I'm going to hear something that I can take with me today that's going to make my day better.
Yeah. Well said, Johnny. Marty, what did you take from today's show, pal?
I'm going to be honest, man. That bit where we talked about opinions, and you making it clear that this is a space where you can bring a different opinion and we can have a discussion about it. I'm really big on there has to be more of that in the world, specifically in North America. We hear an opinion that we don't like, and we just label someone instead of actually hearing them out, actually listening, actually disagreeing with the points, and combating what they're saying in a calm manner. Like you got some sense. So I thought that was big.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Marty. And pal, I want to lean into that with you because I want to make sure we emphasize that on this show. And Melissa and Jimmy, and we want to keep inviting those types of conversations to the lab because you know what, John and Marty, I'm hoping that we can teach others, including perhaps ourselves, how to embrace others' opinions and not get bent out of shape. And teach somebody to learn how to perhaps, we talked about having different kind of conversations today, assertive conversation, passive, aggressive conversations. Marty, learning how to take what you said to me, taking it in, digesting it, maybe disagreeing with it, but then conversing about it and then not hating on you about it and then leaving the show with shaking hands, fist pumping, and going on with our lives. Yep. If we can continue doing that in the show, we are doing great things.
And if people just put the judgment on the shelf, this whole thing gets a lot easier.
100%. Put the judgment aside, nation. Guys, what I took away from the show was all of that. But what I also took away from the show was the point where if you're going to lead somebody, you need to lead. You need to be the leader yourself first.
Man,
if you're going to ask somebody to go make the pizza, go learn how to make the pizza yourself.
Yep.
If you're going to go ask somebody to do some coding, do the coding yourself, or learn how to do it yourself, or go ask the questions yourself.
Yep.
That is what I took out of today's show here, guys. So, all right, we're gonna be back here tomorrow, 8:00 Eastern time, mornings in the lab. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share with your friends, comment whether you like it or don't like it. And hey, you don't just have to blow smoke up my ass or Marty's ass or John's ass. If there's something you don't like, tell us. If there's something you don't agree with, tell us. We want to have the conversation. That's what we are inviting here into the show. If you disagree, we're not going to throw you out. We're going to have some fun with you. I promise you this, John and Marty, we may not agree with you. We're going to have some fun with you, and we're going to converse about it. That's what I can absolutely and always offer to everybody on the show.
Yep.
There we go.
All right, guys. Adam, Jimmy, Vinny, Deuce, Inam, Real Deal Prime jumping in as well. Good time. I appreciate you. And of course, our friend Enzo from the future. I appreciate all of you. Yellowbird, I appreciate you too. You guys have yourself a great day. Even all you trollers, we appreciate you guys as well. Because
shout out to the trollers.
Because as they say, Johnny, if they're talking smack,
you're on the right track.
Boom. Let's get out of here, boys. Have a great one, John. Have a great one, Marty. We'll talk to you guys a little later. Have a great one, nation. Where's my sound effects? There we go. Let's get this one on. There we go.